Hey everyone, thanks again for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys a new maker, or I guess pair of makers out of the Czech Republic. So a couple things first, being that they're from the Czech Republic, I'm going to just butcher names left and right today. So I'm going to throw that out there right at the beginning. But I did want to share with you guys this knife. This is actually on loan from a fellow Instagram user and knife collector, Norris, and I'll put his link down below if you guys want to check him out. But he was kind enough to allow me to intercept this model on the way from the maker from the Czech Republic, and so he has not even had his hands on it yet. So I really do appreciate it. Anyways, we're going to take a look at a model from them, and the company is Traste, I believe. Again, I'm just going to butcher these names. Traste knives out of the Czech Republic. You do have a pair of makers, David Michalik and Krusty Robert Kromchak, I believe. Again, liberal with the names here. Anyways, so two guys work out of the Czech Republic, make custom knives. This one is the Kyre, and really cool custom-made knife. Lots of nice detail. We'll go through the specs, overall impressions, and details, but I did want to show you guys the packaging here. So I'm having trouble fitting the whole thing under the camera, but a nice wooden box here, and as you can see, it's I don't even know what that process is called on wood. It's not burned, blocked, or something. I don't know how they did that process, but anyways, really nice attention to detail. And if you guys think that presentation is not important on luxury items, I would respectfully disagree. And they did a really good job here. So here's the pouch. Again, it's got the logo, and this is what the knife shipped with. So really nice presentation. I was really impressed when I took it out of the box, and yeah. Alright, let's get to the knife, because that's what you guys came here for. So, titanium frame lock flipper, does ride on bearings. We're looking at a, let's get into the specs here. So, blade length of just about 3.6 inches on my measurements. Handle length of about 4.4, so really nice blade to handle ratio there. It is quite a thin knife at 0.46 inches. Let me grab what's in my pocket today real quick. The Custom Knife Factory Tegral. So, yeah. So there's a quick size comparison. Let's take a look at the thickness. So as I mentioned, 0.46 inches here. So relatively thin knife, as you can see by comparison with the Tegral. And it is a frame lock / bolster lock, depending on how you want to classify this overlay. And I think the blade steel is N690. I could be wrong. That's a detail that I really forgot to nail down. So yeah, I just want to show you guys this work. It's nice to check out makers, foreign makers, and see what they're up to and what they're doing. I think they bring a really interesting aesthetic to the game here. Bring some things that are a little bit different, and this is a great example of what makers outside the US are doing. So yeah, flipper, it's not broken in yet. I can tell that it still wants to break in. It's gonna get smoother, there's no question. So yeah, some really nice features. So, alright, overall impressions. I really like the aesthetic. Really is a purpose-built knife. Again, fairly thin, thin blade stock here, and you know, full flat grind. Really nice EDC style knife. It reminds me a bit of, you know, the Gavco's, just a really organic nature, user-driven. This one, although it's adorned with quite nice materials, is not one that I would be afraid to put in the pocket. Although, since it's not my knife, of course I didn't. So, yeah. Looks good, feels good. seem like cool guys. The customer, Ed, had nothing but good things to say about the entire process from start to finish, communication, collaborating with the maker, implementing his own ideas, and another cool thing too, this Kyre model here, they've actually have a collaboration with Kyre knives. So if you look at this and say, hey, that's a cool design, I think I'd like to try it out. Maybe I'm not ready to jump into the entry level, you know, $600 to $800. Their prices are probably going to go up soon to $800. There's 6 as of right now, this moment when this video is uploaded. After that, who knows? But you know, if you're not ready to jump in that price, but you want to try this cool design, you can look at the Kyre collaboration and maybe see if that tickles your fancy. So it's a model that I would really like to try from Kyre. I might get one down the line. I think the design and the ergos and the very purpose-felt knife. So yeah, let's get into these specifics now that we are 6 minutes in already. All right, blade. Again, I think it's N690, but this one has a really cool like black finish. I don't know how they achieved this. If you guys have ever seen, that's a little bit of oil there. If you guys have ever seen like an oil slick on a wet road, or you know, pictures of like oil in the ocean or water, it's kind of got like an oil slick look and feel to it. Again, I forgot to nail down some of the details, but I like the way that it looks. It's got a really cool look to the blade finish. Hopefully it holds up well under use. Again, I didn't really do anything with the knife. It's not mine to mess up, and considering the customer hasn't even held it yet, you know, this thing got the kid gloves for sure. So yeah, really nice edge. I mean, it comes down to a very fine edge. It'll be a nice user for sure. The blade, the spine here has been chamfered heavily. It has a rounded feel. Feels really nice. Again, rounded spines on blades. It's just a really nice detail. The opening hole here works well. If you want a middle finger, flick it, or use your thumb as well. You can roll it open. I'm a fan of, you know, thrusting it out pretty hard there, but you can definitely roll it open. So, you know, a nice, useful opening hole. Adds a nice, I don't know, it seems to fit the design of the knife. I'm not quite sure how, I haven't thought about it long enough, but the shape of the hole works well with the overall design, so yeah. Alright, flipper tab. Fairly tall. Has a forward cant, which I absolutely prefer. I don't know why people do them any other way. Even a more aggressive forward cant would be fine with me, but lets you push it straight down, which is kind of a press down. There's also enough height to light switch it without any problem whatsoever. So yeah, it does run on bearings, not entirely sure what kind, and it has a pretty fatty stop pin. Look at the size of that thing here on the back. And then of course the I'm tired, but the rounded portion here, you know, integrates. You shouldn't have any flat spots, but with an oversized stop pin of that sort, not really an issue. Tang of the blade, that's what I meant. So yeah, tucks into the shape fairly nicely. You know, again, this thing would absolutely pocket well. I threw it in my pocket just to try it, but it didn't even leave. It didn't leave the house for sure. So yeah. All right, handles. Obviously, we have titanium liners that have been anodized gold, as you can see, and they are underneath these hand-filed and polished zirconium overlays. Again, it might be a bolster lock depending on how you classify frame lock versus bolster lock, but I think it's really cool. As you can see, the edges have been nicely contoured all the way around. So yeah, polished zirconium. And you know, the nice thing is too, this isn't like a super thick piece of zirconium that adds a ton of weight to the knife. I mean, it comes in at 4.65 ounces, so they use just enough zirconium to give it some substance and obviously some character. and help it look really good, but not so much that the thing's a brick. So the pocket clip is really nicely done too. Definitely a lot of work went into the shaping of that pocket clip. And these guys, they don't really use any smart tech. I mean, these are straight up hand-built knives, you know, filed and stuff, you know, all cut out by hand. A lot of handwork. You know, if you're really into the process, you know, if that's something that you enjoy as a collector, you know, having handmade versus those who use smart tech, doesn't matter either way, but it's something that you would enjoy about this knife. So yeah, lockup, fairly early. It's probably about 20% or so. You can see here, no stick whatsoever. Now the only thing that I would probably change different or have changed up on this knife is maybe a little bit more space. I probably would have taken this side down just a tiny bit more to give me better access to the lock bar here. Of course, I do have really, really large hands, and so you know, I can get it without too much trouble, but I probably would have had them do just a little bit off the side here to get better access to the lock bar. But you know, if you have smaller hands, that may not be an issue. Speaking of which, in my extra large hands, really nice fit here. Can get just enough of the knife, have a really comfortable grip, no problem whatsoever. So yeah. Then let's take a closer look at just all the shaping done on the zirconium. Screws have the same nice gold coloration as the titanium liners. And then here we come to this awesome Mokutai backspacer. I absolutely love this feature. I got a really cool picture of it up on Instagram when I first got this thing in. I really like, you know, Damascus and Mokutai and some of these beautiful polished materials that have been, you know, anodized or, you know, heat colored. My issue with them generally is that they scratch fairly easily because this looks really nice because it's polished, but when you integrate it into a backspacer like this, it's just enough for a pop of color, but it's not on a primary surface of the knife where it's likely or for sure going to get scratched through normal wear and tear. So I really, really like, you know, when you use materials such as this in a kind of a more less traffic area or less likely to get scratched, such as a backspacer here. So really cool. Some of the nice, I don't know, texturing back here or chamfering, the gear pattern. Just really nice materials. So yeah, sticks out a little bit on the back. Just feels really good. So yeah, here's the pocket clip for an up close look. But yeah, just pretty neat work. Again, seeing what some of the you know, foreign makers are doing, some of their designs, a little bit outside of the box. Again, this one, as you can see by the shape and the blade shape and the way that the blade shape comes down, a lot of nice belly. But I mean, you're definitely going to get some utility out of that blade shape. So user-driven, nice materials, pretty cool. I like it. The only other thing I might change is I might add a little bit more thickness to the knife with my really large hands. 0.46 inches thick in this direction is fairly thin. My happy spot is closer to half an inch, slightly over half an inch thick. So, you know, again, but they'll work with you on your build. From what the customer told me, they do a lot of things by hand, so they're not afraid to take on a challenge, as it were. So yeah, so this is Traste, again, sorry for the name, knives out of the Czech Republic. You guys can contact them on Instagram. They also have a pretty nice website up too. They have examples of their work, and yeah, again, the Kyre collaboration, but seem like pretty good guys, really responsive to my questions. So if this model interests you, reach out, see what happens. I think the wait time is about 6 months right now. So anyways, guys, love bringing you new makers, new designs, new features. They're certainly kind of going with what's popular right now. And if this is your job, that's what you got to do. So I just like I definitely like the shape here and what they did. So anyways, yeah, so Traste Knives, I'll put links in the description box to all their info if you want to check them out. Follow them on Instagram, look at their website. Let me know what you guys thought. Again, I didn't do any use with this knife. It's not mine. If you guys want to know, hey, how does it hold up in a couple months, ask the owner. His link to his Instagram will be down in the box below. No doubt he'll give updates as to how it's holding up and how it performs in use. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I've rambled for long enough. Give me a thumbs up out of pity at this point if you stuck to 15 minutes. Follow me on Instagram, and the podcast is up and running with some really good regularity now. So that's modernneanderthal.com or The Modern Neanderthal. Just Google it, and see you guys soon.